You're listening to Glow 93.9 FM. Sounds in the background here of Phil Thompson. The song is called My Response. It's 29 minutes gone by the 11 o'clock hour. Yeah, I know we're supposed to be here a long time. It's girl talk time. I do apologize. Look here, I get all kind of messages on my phone. Italia, I don't know if you could hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Guys, Italia is not in studio with me. My technical support is here though, so he's trying to make sure that everything is all good. But the thing is, Italia is at home. No, we're not practicing social distancing. We are, but we're not. We are. Listen, your mommy messaged me and tell me she waiting for me and you to get on here.
She didn't message me too, girl. So, Mericha, I'm gonna go live from my phone because the video is playing. It's delayed, and I don't want to get thrown off. So I'm just gonna go live on my phone. I'm just gonna tune into you over my phone. Is that okay?
I don't know if that's gonna work. She said she's gonna tune into me. It might be a delay too, right? Okay.
Oh. It's a bad delay.
Is a bad delay. Okay, are you? But I need you to still listen to me on your phone. Can you put headphones in? Y'all, I'm sorry. This is really ghetto. We doing this.
I'm actually listening to you through my landline.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget you on a landline.
Yeah.
She's on a landline, Delton.
So the video doesn't matter.
Right, so the video don't matter. So, I know you got yourself all fabulous looking for this morning. I know that's what you did, right?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course.
So let's just skip the video part. Let's just skip the video part because we got 19 people tuning in. Tuned in, so they're ready for us to talk. And so good morning, everyone. Let's try this again. Rewind. Come again. Dr. I need more volume from her. Yeah, I need some more volume from her. Oh, that's not max loading. Let me check my phone.
More volume if I do this? Can you hear me louder?
No, I can't hear you any louder. But I think. Oh wait, right here. No, that's gonna send it out to the stream louder. Anyway, I think we should be good. Good morning. Let me see who's tuned in here. I'll tell you, I know you're not live, so you don't know who's all tuned in. So I'm gonna tell you who's tuned in.
Cool.
Oh wow! Hi, Tammy Gator's tuned in.
Oh, Tammy.
And Miss Bartlett, that's Debbie Bartlett's mom. She's tuned in.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, Anna Kalik. She's tuned in. Stephanie's tuned in. Pastor Tim. Oh, we got lots of people tuned in, and they're just coming in. Ozera Bodie, she's tuned in. I've been praying for you, hon. I know your mom's passing was really rough, so I know you don't really know me like that, but I've been praying for you.
Yeah.
And oh, hey, KK. KK's tuned in. He's from Canada. He's in Canada. So we got quite a few persons tuned in on Facebook Live. First thing that we need to say, Delton, I don't know if you want to come look at this and do this now while I'm here. Pastor Kino from Evangelistic Temple, he's tuned in as well. So we got quite a few persons tuned in, and I want to get rid of this little distortion I have going on here. First of all, we don't have a topic for today. That's the first thing I want to say. We don't have a topic. We just know that we had to do the show today, and I really wish Italia could have been in studio with me today, but I understand. I understand that, it just couldn't happen, and it's okay. But we don't have a topic for today, but I want to share something. And I don't know if I should share this, but I'm going to anyway. And it's my personal business. We've been putting our personal business out there a little while, Italia, so it is what it is, right?
Yeah, we didn't done it all.
We done it all, so it is what it is. So, so I had a little situation that happened to me yesterday, right?
Okay.
Where there was a certain individual that let's just say this person was caught. Let's just put it like that, because I don't want exposed too much. Okay, Delta made a little switcheroo. Italia, you still there?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was any better. Go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, actually, that is much better, Delton. That's a lot better in terms of sound. Sorry, Delton was doing a little switcheroo there. Talk one more time for me, Italia.
Okay.
Good.
I'm
Good
still
stuff.
here.
All right, wonderful. So let's just say I caught someone doing something yesterday.
Right.
That they wasn't supposed to be doing.
Whoa.
And that they told me they weren't doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was one of those
What?
Julianne, please come for your husband. I can't tell you what he said. I can't tell you what Dalton said. Oh my gosh. But listen. So, and you know, actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just have this conversation flat out. Let's just talk about it. So, what do we do? What do we do as women? This is girl talk. And I know we're dealing with COVID. I know everybody, you know, they mad with the police because of what they do to Clint and all kind of things are going on right now, right? But let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation as women. What do we do, Italia, when the man in our lives cheats on us? What do we do? Let's go there. What? Let's just go there. Yeah.
Mom.
Yep.
Mom.
Let's just go there. Let's go there.
Look here.
Let's just do it.
What do you do when the man in your life cheats on you?
Oh my gosh, Stephanie, no, you can't be typing them kind of things. No.
No. I mean, I can be real. I can be, because I mean, at my age, at my ripe age of 43,
right? I
didn't been there and then done that,
right?
And write a book and everything else,
right?
I mean, I've been the other woman. I can speak from it from like both ends.
Right.
I was cheated on, and I was the other girl.
Right.
Right. And oh my God, it's never a good feeling. I mean,
no.
Being cheated on. It's always a nasty feeling being cheated on.
Yes.
You know. And the thing is, when you find yourself in that kind of position, I mean, emotions go crazy.
It's true.
They go crazy. You want to do and say all kind of things and blah 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 blah. I mean, I've been in a situation where I roll up on the guy, roll right up. Something tells me, I go home, mind my own business.
Right.
And something tells me, JJ,
just pass by.
Make a laugh.
Oh gosh.
And I swerve and make a laugh. Then I make the right and the next laugh.
JJ, you made a laugh.
What?
You did it.
And there you have it. I mean, black and white. No one tells you this. You see it for yourself with your own eyes. You see it. Some women ignore it.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Right.
They ignore it. Some women go into a fit of rage, you know.
Right.
Some women attack the other woman, then they attack the man.
Yeah.
You know. But for me, I was never the one to like approach anybody. I never did that.
Tabby says she hollering.
I never did that.
I just say roll up on him. Listen to me. Let me just clarify. My experience yesterday was not a circumstance of cheating. I just want to make that clear. It wasn't cheating. It wasn't cheating. But what it was, you know, when somebody tells you, no, it's just you and ain't nobody else.
Right. I got you.
And then you listen. The good Lord.
But Mericha, it may really not be anybody else.
The good Lord. Oh no, it was somebody else, boo. Because I saw them in the car. So the good Lord.
But you saw them in the car doing what?
You really want me to say everything what I saw? Just let me tell you.
Let's keep it good for Christian radio.
So let's just say this. What I saw, confirmed.
Confirmed.
There was somebody else.
Okay.
So. So and then let me tell you what I did. Listen to me. I am so proud of myself because I observed from behind because I was in a situation where I was at a light, right. And I could see what was happening, and I also had the space to pull up eventually, paint the picture. So
take a picture, Mericha.
Paint the picture. I'm painting the picture. So I had an opportunity. Listen, oh Jesus.
You can need that picture.
So I had a positioning where my car could, you know, lag behind and I could see what was happening, and then I pulled up next to the vehicle so that I could be seen.
Right.
But I did not turn my head to look at the side. But I know that my car was seen. I know that my car was seen because this person was in a left turning lane. And they were sitting at the light, so obviously they wasn't going to turn left. But as soon as my car put up, they turn left. Okay. Now here's my truth. This is my truth. This is how I feel. Oh Jesus. Oh my gosh. The comments are they are so funny. So here's my truth. This is my honest to God truth. I laughed. I could not stop laughing.
Right.
And I don't even know where this person came from, because the first thing that came out of my mouth, I kid you not, was, God, I thank you that you are always working on my behalf.
Always. And that's the way I see things like that, it's for us to accept it as what it is, and not try to twist it to be something else.
Listen. I was like, God, you are always working on my behalf. I had no idea what was going on. I had no clue. I was clueless. And I was really placing consideration towards this individual. And I kid you not. And I was on my way to church, quote unquote, because we were getting ready to do the broadcast.
Right.
So I was on my way there, and I knew what the assignment was ahead of me too. And so I was like, okay, look how the enemy could even use this situation to cause like my mind to be in a bad place, or like just to throw me off my game, just to throw me off of like focusing. And I was like, this, I immediately recognized. Listen, Julie, I am proud of me, because there was a Mericha, Italia. Let me tell you what I would have done. Real talk. Because car was in front of them. A car was in front of me, but it wasn't a car in front of them. And I ain't gonna lie to you, in hindsight, I was like, Mericha, you should have pulled your car in front of their car, hop out your car, and just tap on the glass.
Man, so what you did, I think what you did was
Tap
on
the glass.
I was enough.
Listen to me. See, Anna say roadblock. Listen to me. I was ready. Listen to me. I was this close. I was this close to cutting the movie. Yes, Candira, I was this close to cutting the movie. But I say, it ain't even worth it. And I was going to snap a picture too, I was going to snap a picture too. But then I even thought about it. I was like, Mericha, what are you taking a picture for? Like, what's the point? None of this means anything. Saw what I ain't gonna lie, I tell you, that's how I felt. This doesn't mean, at this point now, it doesn't mean anything to me. You saw what you saw. This is clear cut, like this is it. You've seen it. You have your answer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what the truth is now.
As women, we have a way. Sorry, Mericha, not cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
We have a way of just kind of like just assessing everything and then trying to justify it.
Listen to me.
As women, we do that. We process these things in our head. We put it through filters and do all kind of things.
Listen.
And then we talk to the other party, and then we justify it. And most women would take what is said to them, and then they're back in the same situation again.
So I behaved myself yesterday. Delta, I need you to come back in. I know you're watching live. I need you to come back in if you have a chance. I honestly, listen, and I can say this too, because we don't tell the truth. A lot of times the way we respond in situations like this is that we react instead of respond. So wherever our emotions are in that moment, that's what comes out of us. And then we do that thing. Like we do however we feel, whatever we feel in that moment, that's what we do. Exactly. And so for me, I realized that I actually did not react. I responded, and I responded in a way where my my cousin is saying, I still have good standing in society. Still have good standing. The computer's not coming back on. I think it's done, but I can't find the power button. Sorry, y'all. We gotta kind of do a little talking. I too loud, eh?
Yeah, you should stop.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just bring that down, yeah? Okay. All right, so so let's talk about this though. Let's talk about start on the next side. Okay, all right. So you say okay, yeah. So let's talk about what we do as women when we find ourselves in a situation where this person is not being faithful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
But Mericha, I mean, I've done, like I said, I've found myself in a position before, and I found myself in a position, and I have forgiven and accepted the relationship and moved on.
When you say you've forgiven and accepted the relationship, you're saying that you have literally accepted the fact that this person is cheating on you with someone else, and you let them go. You don't fight for them.
Right. No, I stayed in the relationship.
Oh.
Right. I stayed in the relationship.
So you accepted the fact that this individual was cheating on you.
And stayed in and continued.
Wow.
I did that before. Yeah, man. Because especially when you're not where you're not at that place yet, and so you begin to operate below your standard, and you accept a lot of things that you really shouldn't. But I'm in a position now, in my place now. Even now, I think. I mean, God forbid, I say it was my husband. I mean, I don't want to go there, and I don't want to talk about that, but things happen. I don't think, and I don't think my husband would put me in that position. Italia, don't can't put your head in no chopping block for nobody.
Right.
Yeah, people would say that, but when you know, since some of y'all can't put your head in a chopping block, but when you know someone, Mericha, that kind of way. And yeah, when you know somebody and you know the nature of that person and the essence of that person, like for my husband, because we all have faults. And so for your husband or your boyfriend, it may be a woman thing. For my husband, it may be something else.
Okay,
right,
I got you.
You got me right.
I got
so
you.
for my husband, I could put my head on a chopping block for my husband.
I got you.
But he has some things about him. Of course, he still has to work on, and so do I.
Right.
But if it would happen to me, even now in my relationship, there's some things that I think about, like the Bible says for adultery.
Right.
You have that. You can give up the marriage, or you can go apply for divorce and whatnot.
Right.
But I'm such a softie. My mouth hard, but
see, and that's what I want. That's what I want to talk about, because as women, that is our truth. We don't brag about it. We don't brag about it. But here's the truth: the nurturer in us, is more forgiving.
Yeah.
Now, some of us, because we've been hurt so much, we've been hurt so badly, for some of us, the thought of someone like stepping out or cheating or whatever, oh no, I'm not putting up with that, I'm done.
I'm not going to accept it.
No, I'm not going to accept it. Some of us, we're in that place because we've been hurt so badly. And then and when I say hurt so badly, I'm not just talking about the fact that you've been in a relationship where someone has cheated on you. I'm talking about even looking at the relationships around you, because I know that for a period of time in my life, Italia, I was misjudgy. Like, when I say I was misjudgy, what do you mean you having a relationship with somebody else?
Other than, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're the other person? What do you mean you're the other woman? What do you mean you're the other man? How could you? How could you do that? And I would sit down and I would judge that person. I would judge them, and I'd be like, oh, I would never do that. I would never. Listen to me, people. Y'all be careful. The things that you say you would never do. Be so careful, because you have absolutely no idea what life can throw your way. You have no clue. And so, in some cases, for some of us, we may have observed a relationship, whether it was our parents, whether it was maybe, like for me, in the case, it was not just my parents being divorced eventually, but I mean, I even watched like some of my siblings' relationships fail because of infidelity and because of all sorts of other things. And so when you see all of these things around you, it actually develops a filter. You develop a filter, and so you tell yourself, oh no, I'm not going to do this. And some of us women, we have that no nonsense, no tolerant posture because of some of the things that we've seen happen around us.
But I'd say this, though, Mericha, in the same token, though, for me, though, even though I may be very forgiving, and I know there may be other women out there too who may feel the same way, but for me, I do it, but I am still cautious. I still do it, and because I'm still watching and looking
to see what the behavior is going to be.
Yeah, because there should be some change. And now, if there isn't any change, now obviously, we got to do some stuff. We gotta, we gotta separate. We gotta, But I think I'm a believer in. I'll give you a chance. And of course, too, depending on the situation, there's certain situations. But ultimately, I think I would give. You would forgive. Yeah, I would forgive and give that person a chance. And I ain't trying to be like Miss Perfect or anything like that, but I mean, really, honestly, because that's how I am in person.
Listen,
that's just how I am.
Let me read some of these comments, because these comments are hot. OMG.
Let me see.
OMG.
Let me see what they say.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's go. Let's scroll back
Sonia.
up. Julianne say, no man, I would have tooted my horn and say morning. Bria says, nah, you did the right thing. Can't let these men get you out of character.
Yes, man.
Stephanie says, can't visit no one in prison because of Rona. Bria say, but I was going to heal him though. And Anna asked, did you have any gut feelings prior to seeing this? I did, Anna. I did.
You do.
I did.
Normally do.
I did. I did. And actually, if I tell you the truth, I asked God to show me.
Yep.
I asked him to show me the truth, and he sure did. So I'm just grateful to God. Tommy say block and delete too. Block and delete boo. Peggy says, yeah, he made his choice. Jessica says she agrees. She was rolling down the window. Tanya says she reached. Hey, Tanya. Oh, Tommy says Italia is strong. And she also says when you get in that situation, it's another story. And it's so true. Peggy says, oh, no. Say, oh, no, husband or boyfriend, gone. You too old now to be done with running around. Been here, done that, not about that life again. And like I said, Peggy, you have a right to be that way.
Yes.
You have a right to be that way. You have a right to have that posture. For me, in the situation that I was in yesterday, oh, no, ma'am, I done. Ooh, child.
I think especially when you single, man, Mericha. I mean,
listen. I was ever done. Let me clarify this. I was ever done. I was ever done. This individual was making an attempt to get back into my good graces.
No, man. Obviously, they're trying hard enough.
No. So listen to me. I was ever done. When I say I was done, I was ever done. I was considering friendship, but now they're gone. Ooh.
I know, right?
When I say gone, God, I ain't even talking about like sweep out the door. I'm talking about like burnt in a fire. Gone. Like that is done because no,
Mericha.
Done.
Now suppose, Mericha.
Suppose what?
Suppose homeboy now comes back. He says,
No, Italia. Italia. No, let me cut you off because I see where you go in. I see where you go in. This was to come back. Italia, this was to come back. Okay, go ahead then. Go ahead.
Listen, homeboy comes back.
Okay.
Comes back. Tells you, man, Mericha, you're right. Yes, he caught me. That is true. I found this girl. And he calls the girl up on the phone right there and said, listen to me. I call this girl right now. I want you to know that was a mistake. And I really prayed about this. I really want you in my life. He calls the girl. Mamacita, blah, blah, blah. It's over between me and you. I will not. This is done. The woman in my life is Mericha Walker.
Oh, really?
I like her. Mericha.
Italia.
Mericha.
No. Because this was second chance.
Please forgive me.
No, this was
Give me one more chance,
this whole me considering you done messed up before. This whole consideration thing was your second chance. And I catch you sitting up on your second chance? No.
Please, man, one more time.
No. In the words of Jeopardy, what is no? In Spanish, no. In French, no. No. Absolutely not.
You know they don't give up just like that.
Okay. Good for him.
You know that, right?
Good for him. The answer is no. No. It's not happening again. I'm not interested. I good.
Man,
God bless you. Bless your heart and all your parts. No.
But no. They want a second chance?
No, listen. God is a God of a second chance. I'm a human being. I am a human being.
Yeah, like Bria said, that wasn't a sister. How you know who that was in the car?
Y'all better stop. It. Y'all stop. No. Absolutely not. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
My God.
It wasn't. And that's okay.
You have to hear a story, though, at least.
No, I'm not interested. You know when they say a picture is 1,000 words? Listen to me. What you see with your eyes is 1,000,000 words.
Tommy said, run.
What you see?
Oi.
What you see with your eyes? That's a million words. No, I'm good.
It's nothing like listening to yourself. If deep down within it says to you to move on and go on. And,
listen.
And you have to listen.
We have to. We have
that
to.
That is like the worst feeling.
And here's my truth. Here's my truth.
Oh my gosh.
When the door opened again for this situation, everything in me was saying, Mericha, don't be stupid.
Hey,
girl, stop it. You know.
Rise up.
You know. You have seen with your own two eyes. You've experienced. You've been heartbroken. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Julia said I was a second cousin. He was showing us something real quick.
Y'all killing me with these comments. Listen to me. The answer is no.
Oh my gosh.
The answer is no. The answer is no. And the crazy thing is, I'll be real with y'all. I don't hate him because here's the truth. I don't hate him. He was like Delilah. Delilah was consistent. You hear me?
Yes.
Delilah was consistent. Y'all like to talk bad about Delilah, but Delilah was consistent. It was Samson who was the idiot.
Yes.
Because Samson, every time you tell this woman listen, every time you tell this woman,
don't be no Samson, sorry.
Oh, don't be no Samson. Every time he told this woman what his weakness was. His weakness was. Right. She tried the very thing that he said his weakness was. No, Delilah was consistent. Yeah. Delilah was consistently her. She was sneaky and she was trying to get to your weak point. So here's my truth. Here is my truth. Consistently him. Me, the fool. Me, the Samson.
I think for me, I think that's a one time in relationships. You have to be very, very selfish.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing because you have to understand in this relationship, everybody's looking and searching for what they want. Either in a person or just generally in life, right?
Yeah.
And you have to determine, like, here, is this what I want?
Right.
What I want, because for that person, they may be content with whatever the situation may be, you know? But you have to decide for yourself, what does Italia want?
It's about standards. It's about standards.
Yeah, man.
It's about standards. And I think we are afraid as women to have standards because you right that, Tommy, I must see the conch. I's the conch, not me. No, man, you're not putting me in a bag and beating me. Listen, we have to set standards. And this is something that I hear people say all the time. And I believed it, but I mean, you know, sometimes people say things and they're grandstanding, so it kind of turns you off a little bit. But here is the truth of the matter. As women, we can really set the standard as to how men behave.
Right.
When we relax our standards, they relax their approach and their behavior. They treat us according to the standard that we have set.
Yes.
And not just between men and women. That goes for all of our relationships. That goes for our family members. That goes for our co-workers, our bosses, our superiors, the persons who work underneath us. We set the standard for how people treat us.
Treat us, you're right.
So if you just allow someone to just do whatever they want to do to you, and it's okay, there are no consequences to their actions, then they just go run over you. Like a doormat, they'll just walk over you, dust their foot, and keep going where they gotta go.
Yeah.
And so, as women,
I know of women. They just they don't care that you're married or in another relationship, so long as you're giving them. You know, once you're giving them, and like you say, when a man finds himself in that type of relationship, or when you see something like that going on. You know, for men, it just solidifies certain things for men in terms of the relationship.
Yes.
They don't wanna. They ain't trying to get any better.
No.
You know, they won't try.
No.
And it's so sad that why does so much pressure have to be on us? We got to set the...
You know,
my God.
Listen, this is a gospel radio show, so I want to share something with you that came when we were actually having a conversation in youth group a couple of weeks ago. We were having a conversation, and this, honestly, I tell you, this was a moment of straight up rhema for me, because we were talking about the creation story, and we were having a conversation about the whole Adam and Eve situation. and how, it was Satan in the form of a serpent approached Eve and basically made her question, did God say? Like, did God say this? Did God say that? And we know that it wasn't just a concept, that the truth is that they were literally exposed to knowledge of good and evil. Even though, when we read the story as children, we say it's the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but we don't really understand, like, a lot of times that, like, listen, let's paint this picture, let's understand this clearly. What happened was Adam and Eve were exposed to the knowledge of good and evil. They now knew that good and evil existed. And this was my theory, and I believe this was the Spirit of God. I believe that the reason Satan went to Eve and not to Adam was to have the society that currently exists now, where we have women who have literally, like, surpassed men in every way, shape, or form, in every sphere of society. And what it has done to the male ego is it has made the man feel like he's less. When the established order of things was for the woman to be the helpmeet, was for there to be a meeting, not one person being above the other. But when Satan came in, what he did was he sowed the seed of the woman being stronger and the man being weaker, because she took from him and then gave to her husband. So open the door now for the man not to be the husband, the protector around the home, because the woman was the one who allowed the enemy to come in. I believe this was a plan of the enemy from the beginning, from the foundations of time, and we couldn't even see it. We couldn't even see it back then. Moses them couldn't even fathom that was the enemy's plan millions of years later. And so what Satan did was he made sure that there would always be a fight between men and women for superiority, instead of us coming to the place where we meet one another, where you're strong, I'm weak, where I'm weak, you're strong.
That's powerful, Mericha. Seriously.
And so I am convinced that he sowed those seeds years ago, millions of years ago, however long ago it was. And so we find ourselves in the situation now where the man, he's fighting for superiority. He's fighting to be what God has created him to be. But because of the access that was given to the enemy, it seems like a fight against the woman when it should be a fight for the woman. And so we find ourselves in the situation where women are now saying they want to be paid equally as men, and there are all these things coming up. And listen to me, and I'm not saying that women should not be paid equally as men. Hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we should be equal, and we're not. We're not equal. We should be walking alongside one another as men and women. We shouldn't be fighting for gender roles and for if the man has a child, then the child automatically is a Bahamian or is a citizen of that country. But if the woman does, then no. We shouldn't even be in this position. But I am convinced it was a plan of the enemy, and this is how he did it. He did it by going to Eve first and making sure that Eve gave it to her husband. And because then you see what he did. You see what Adam did. Adam's response was, this woman that you gave me. Immediately, not only was there enmity placed between animals and human beings, but there was enmity placed between man and woman. And so now there's this fight. There's the male ego that's always fighting the strength of a woman.
Yeah.
Always.
Respect, woman, respect.
Exactly. And so now we're in this constant fight for the man wants respect. The woman, she wants to be cared for. She wants to be protected. But the man is not there protecting the woman. So the woman is now being the woman and the man.
Yeah.
And you have men saying, no, let me be the woman, let me be the man. Sorry, you have men saying, let me be the man, you be a woman. But the truth of the matter is, we think that it's because of our culture. We think it's because of how we've been raised. Some of us think it's because we've been single all of our lives. That's why we are being the man and the woman. The truth of the matter is, it's because of the access that Eve gave to the enemy. Why we are in this constant fight. We are in this constant fight where, as women, we gotta, I gotta let him be a man.
Yeah.
And so I am convinced, Italia, that we have an even greater, how can I say this, as a church, as the body of Christ, because we all are gospel station people, and I want to make it clear, we will talk real talk, but we're gonna bring it home. And the truth of the matter is, we have a responsibility as the body of Christ to set those things in the enemy place, the perversion, to set those things right.
Straight, yeah.
We have a responsibility to set those things right. And I know some of you are saying, what does this have to do with, your little situation that you opened the door with this morning? The truth of the matter is, who I am as an individual, I have to live my life in a way where the people in my life can be who they are supposed to be. The God-given identity as to who they are. And that may sound like a sweeping generalization straight across the board, but if I live the standard, Jesus, Peggy say Eve, that Eve, my Lord, she was a baby, my God. If I live my life according to a certain standard, and I don't waver on my standard,
right,
everyone around me has to come in line with that standard.
Yeah.
Has to come in line with that standard. So that's my little 5 cents in that situation. That's my little piece of, listen, let's fight for equality, like real equality, where we function in who God has created us to be. Not this has nothing to do with gender roles. This has nothing to do with who cooking and who cleaning. Nothing to do with who washing the car and who taking the car to the mechanic, and all little silly things that happen, that come up even in marriages and come up in relationships where you're trying to figure out, well, no, you take out the garbage, your hands ain't breaking, all the foolishness what has happened. No, let's function in our God-given identity. If you say you love someone, our pastor says, when you say you love someone, love says what matters to you matters more than what matters to me. And so if that person that you're in a relationship with, that person that is a family member, that person is a close friend, if what matters to you doesn't matter more to them, they don't love you. They don't love you. That's just it. Straight off there. They don't love you. And when you realize that you're in a situation where someone does not love you, then a conversation needs to be had.
Yeah.
A conversation needs to be had. I'm not going to be the person to tell you to get out of your relationship. I'm not going to be the person to say, oh, walk away from this person. Don't, because that's not my place. My place is, listen, make sure that this person that says they love you, make sure that what matters to you matters more than what matters to them.
Yeah, it's a lot of work we have to do in the relationships and how we view them. But I still feel like a lot of people we're still lacking in how we approach and how we live out these relationships. A lot of us are still getting in relationships because, okay, I'm a woman,
right?
It's a man, and we should get together,
right?
And this is what society expects of me,
right?
And blah 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 blah,
right?
They're not having the real conversations as to what this relationship really means, the purpose for this relationship, for me, for you. They're not pursuing these relationships at that level
with intentionality. It's just cause.
Right. They're not. And so until then, we're gonna always have these little situations. But I mean, I don't mean to be so negative. Again, it goes back to us focusing on ourselves. About you talked about individuality,
yes,
knowing who we are,
yes,
and again, like you said, having a standard.
Yes.
And understanding that, and I think too, an understanding too that, okay, you don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to get married. That see, once you understand your purpose in life, I think that should be the ultimate goal. To really self-actualize. And people don't understand, once you do that, once you focus on you, once you focus on what the Lord has for you to do, your purpose, your plan, if it is for you to be married and for you to connect with someone,
right,
to help pursue and complete that purpose, it must happen. It must happen. You see?
Italia, you saying a whole lot there, because a lot of people struggle to believe that.
Yeah.
A lot of people struggle to believe that. I can tell you, I was one of those persons. I was one of those persons who, I was like, listen, especially if a single person said that to me, if a single person said to me, oh, focus on your purpose and who God has called you to be and what he's called you to do, and that's where your mindset should be. And I'm like, you single, you can't talk to me. Don't tell me what to focus on. Listen, y'all don't be real. I won't be real. This is my truth. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Not when the truth is, as a single person, my desire is I want to be in relationship. I want to be married. I want to share my life with someone. And so my whole thing was, no, don't come to me with that, because you single too. Show me an example of you living in your purpose, and then you live in your purpose, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, your purpose was aligned. Your life was aligned with someone else who's also walking in purpose. I was that person. I was that person, very bitterly that person. And when I tell you that, when I say this, I'm not saying that you're wrong in what you're saying, but what I've learned, what I've experienced now is that, Italia, while that is so true, my story is always going to be different from your story, and no two stories are going to be alike.
Right.
No two stories are going to be alike. And there is going to be a friend that you have, and that friend that you have, they got married at 22 and 25. And had no clue what their purpose was, and then their marriage lasts for till they dead. But it was the time for them to come together, and that's why I'm so careful now with how even I talk to other singles, other persons who are struggling with their relationships, and I tell them, listen, there's a lot of great information out there. There's a lot of great stuff that says, okay, yeah, you go find your purpose, or you go do this, or man, find a job, or woman, know how to take care of a house, know how to clean, cook, all these things that we tell people to say, okay, do this, and then, yep, it's going to happen. Listen to me. Everything under the sun has a time and has a season. What we are, who we are, where our life is headed has already been established in the foundations of time in eternity. And we are simply awaiting the collision where eternity steps into time, and that which God has said concerning us manifests in the earth realm. I'm convinced it already exists in heaven. It already exists in eternity. And we're just awaiting the point in time where it comes in. I am convinced, Italia, I'm convinced that it's all about timing. I don't think it has anything to do with my state of being. I don't think it has anything to do with whether I'm ready or not, because I've heard people say you can be ready. I've heard persons say you can't be ready. I've heard persons say you think you're ready, you walking into a marriage, you married, and then all of a sudden in year 2, something literally blows you away and knocks your socks off, and then you have to figure out and recalibrate and figure out how you can do this thing all over again. So this is my perspective. My perspective is in God's timing. Yeah. In his timing. And it doesn't matter if I'm fully in my purpose or halfway towards purpose or even know what my purpose is. True. All in God's timing. All in God's timing. And that's hard. I hate that. I just want to say that. I hate it. I don't like it. But I gotta submit to it. I don't like it. We don't want to tell the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that is in his timing, but it is what it is. Yep. It is what it is. And if I believe he's God, if I believe that he's not like man that he should lie, if I believe him when he says that he knows the plans that he has for me, the plans that he has for us, a good future, a hope, an expected end, if I believe him when he says that, listen, the work that I began on the inside of you, I am the one that's faithful to complete it, we should be good.
Kandira said, let me share what Kandira said. I feel like people make it seem like there are prerequisites for marriage. Find purpose, learn to be domestic, pursues higher education, etc. While these can enhance the quality of the individual headed into marriage, it's not a requirement. Agreed.
I like it. I love it.
It's not a requirement. For real.
And I think we need to...
I know some people who can't cook. I know some people who don't clean.
I make a husband.
Yeah, and they've been in it for a while.
Oh.
But also it's moderate than being in the marriage.
It's more.
Marriage is moderate than that.
So much more to it. It's so much more to it. And I think we've done ourselves a disservice by establishing what we think, like Kendira said, the prerequisites are. We've done ourselves a disservice. The scripture tells us comparison is the thief of joy. So we continuously compare our relationships or our singleness or whatever it is, our marriages, we're comparing them to other people. No, how could you do that? Because your husband is an individual, your wife is an individual. You two individual people have come together. So you've already come with your individuality, your unique, your originality, and you bring it together, and now you want to compare that to another woman and a man. And let's just be very clear, I am being very specific in saying woman and man here. Woman and man. Okay, good.
So did you watch the movie that's trending now on Netflix? Now that I'm reading Tammy Gator. Nowadays, no, men are being the women, literally.
Yes.
There's the movie trending called Self-Made. The story about Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes, I watched it.
If you haven't watched that, you should watch that.
That is very interesting.
Because she was like pretty much the woman. She was the breadwinner. But I think, and there were a lot of the struggles there going on too, especially for the husband.
Yes.
And I think because again, we let what society believes is the way it should be. We let that dictate to our relationship. And
I don't want to talk it too much.
Perfect going on. They're made for each other.
Listen, I don't want to talk it too much for those of you who haven't watched it, but the son, the husband, his father said to him, listen, if you listen to this woman talk, she's saying it's her business, it's her this, it's her that. You need something of your own. A black man needs something of his own. That's what his father was saying to him. And so wow. I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to talk it, but it was... It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see the fight, to see the struggle.
Right.
To see how...
Look at the marriage. We're not even talking about CJ and what she did and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about the marriage itself.
Yes.
What she, the way it was made up. Again, unique and different, especially for that day and that time.
Very different.
You see?
Very different.
And so that's why he had all these struggles and why he did what he did at the end of the day.
I'm single. I'm not married, Italia, but I think one of the things that God is teaching me, not only just with laying out who I am as an individual, but for the relationships in my life that mean anything to me, whatever they are, God is teaching me to have a plan of intentionality concerning every relationship in my life that's important to me. When I say a plan of intentionality, he has, and it's crazy how he has done it in my life, but if you are a friend of mine and I call you friend, there are certain things that I share with you, certain things that we do together, certain things that are necessary for me to do with you because of the level of relationship that we have. With my sisters, I'm intentional with my sisters. Certain sisters I talk to about certain things. I'm intentional. And what he has shown me is that a lot of us with our relationships, we've been too flippant. We've been too callous. And we allow our feelings and emotions to dictate the wave of our relationships. How things go. How we experience the other person, how we share life or do life with the other individual. And this may seem extreme, this might seem OCD to some people, this may seem like not necessary. But what I have realized is that I hurt less when I'm intentional, Italia. I'm not heartbroken all the time. I'm not surprised when certain things happen anymore, because when you take the time to be intentional concerning a relationship in your life, that means that you have to make certain observations about the person that you're in a relationship with. And so...
that shows, Mericha, too, that's cutting you up too, but that shows growth. And that's where it should be. It shouldn't be where for me in my marriage. Like, there's some things I struggle with in my marriage with my husband.
Yeah.
And someone said this to me too. Actually, they said it in relation to my business. They said, Italia, you mentioned the same thing to me a year ago. And that struck a chord with me because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Wow. That means I'm not learning.
You're not growing.
You're not you're not growing. You're going through the same thing over and over.
Oh, that's
and
not
over
good.
and over, and you're not learning.
Oh no, we gotta nip that in the bud.
And like Pastor says, we're gonna take these tests until we pass it.
Until we pass it.
We're gonna continue to take these same tests over and over and over and over. So if you don't learn from this relationship, from you seeing what you saw the other yesterday, chances are you're gonna find yourself
right back
in another relationship where you find a guy on the light with somebody else. Exactly.
Lord God.
So we have to learn.
We have to learn. We have to learn.
We have to learn.
And so I wanna encourage us. Tammy says, how do you know though? You know what? I am I am a constant believer in the fact that like this, and listen, I only can help the believers out. I don't know what to say to unbelievers, because I don't know what it's like to live a life where you don't know God. So I can't speak to the unbelievers. I only can speak for the believers. Tammy, listen, and everybody else who's tuned in, listen to me. I am convinced that God is always speaking. Number one, I am convinced that he is a revealer. Listen, if I wasn't convinced before he was a revealer, yesterday, Italia convinced me. He is a revealer. My God is a revealer. The third thing is, I'm not saying this from a prideful place. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to puff myself up. But here is the truth. God's word says, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. That might sound like a high and lofty scripture because we have this skewed version of who a prophet is and who the Lord's anointed is. Listen to me. Every single one of us in our own way has been anointed to do something.
Yeah.
And so I'm convinced the moment that you decide to do something that's in opposition for the plan of God on my life, and I have not warranted this thing that you've done to me, and you did this thing to me, be careful. Be careful. Because I am convinced that God is going to show it to me. Now that, I tell you, that might sound like hocus pocus to some people.
Right.
That might seem way far out there. But when I consider everything that has happened in my life in the past 10 months, God was speaking to me the entire time. He was saying to me, no, leave that. Why? No. That feeling that I had, like, oh, Jesus, no, don't do this. I ignored it. No, this is crossing the line. You should, no, this should not go there. I had the feeling, I had the thought, I knew it. Listen, I'm uncomfortable. Never comfortable. I mean,
very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. But I'm telling myself I'm uncomfortable because I don't know this person. Or I'm uncomfortable because, no, that's just my mind. It's all in my head. All of the things that we tell ourselves that are not true. And I was like, no, God, you were showing me. You were talking to me. No, you were, and and I believe that's how I could sit in my car at that moment, and I could just laugh, and then I just said, you know what, God, I thank you. I mean, that's like the perfect moment. Listen,
I mean, it could just get any clearer than that.
Listen, I was like, God, I thank you that you are always working on my behalf. And so that's my how, Tammy. That is my how. My how is listen to what God is saying. He is always speaking. He's never not talking. He's never not talking. He's always speaking. Go ahead, Italia.
Exactly. I was going to say, and it's similar for me as well. Whether it's my relationship or my business, or anything that I'm tied to or anything that I have to do, I find that it just never rests. Like
you don't have a peace.
It never rests. It never leaves me. You know, I'm always back at it. I'm like, okay, I need to make a decision, but it's not. I'm not. I don't feel happy. My spirit is this. And it brings me back to, like, I'm always asking questions, and it's just not sitting with you. It brings you to a point of discomfort. And when you know that you're not comfortable with something, you know, then you feel me? I either need to make a decision or not make a decision.
Let's stop ignoring it.
Yeah.
Let's stop ignoring it. I had this picture in my mind the other day, and I'm convinced that it was God speaking to me. How would you feel if the person that you love the most, whenever you try to talk to them, they ignore you? Jesus. I tell you, imagine every time you try to talk to your husband, he ignores you.
Girl, I'll knock him upside his head.
Exactly.
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, but you would feel like you want to.
Like it, yeah.
But that's what we do to God all the time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He's talking, and he's saying, no, baby girl, don't do that. No, no, honey. No. Okay, this is what you want? Okay, let's make a total 180. Let's go in the next direction. Follow me. Trust me. I got you. That's what he's saying to us constantly. And you know what we do? We ignore him.
Yeah.
We ignore him.
Get in our heads.
We ignore him. We allow thoughts to enter into our head.
Exactly.
We don't discipline our thoughts, so we just allow our mind to drift wherever it goes.
Exactly.
So we make up these things in our head, and then we like to blame the devil for this stuff. But the truth is, we lack discipline. We lack discipline of thought process. We lack discipline of emotions. We lack discipline of being sober. In our approach to life, to situations, to circumstances, to people, and we allow those emotions to get us riled up, and then we allow those thought processes to just go on all day, and then the next thing you know, we're sitting in Foxhole prison because somebody dead.
Exactly. Living in regret.
Yeah,
I don't let others' emotions, and I'm getting to the point, I'm getting better at it, where I don't let my emotions dictate how I respond to someone or a situation. Because we have to, like, I think it was Joyce Myers that said it, explained it. Like, our emotions are like the wave. They come in.
Yes.
They go out.
And they go out.
In and out. In and out. You have to wait until there's a calm. Before you make a decision.
That's really good.
Yeah, you have to wait until there's a
really
calm.
Good. It's really, really good.
Before you make a decision.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, our time is just about done, and this was an amazing show for no topic. This was an amazing show. Actually, you know what? Let's take a vote. We have like about 4 more minutes left, y'all. Give us a topic in the comments, and we will change the name of the show to that topic. And then when we upload it on the podcast, we will give it that topic. So we want you guys who are tuned in on Facebook Live, give us a topic for this show. I don't know what we want to call it, but we need to give it a name. I don't know what you call it, but this was a really good show. Listen, in our last few moments.
I was going to suggest something, but I can't say that. I wanted to put something with the traffic lights. Red light, something. I don't know.
Red light revelation. My God.
Revelation.
My God. Red light revelation. My goodness. Listen, in these last few moments, listen, guys, I want to say this. We had the conversation this week, and we were talking about our different perspectives. Just in these last few minutes, I'm the daughter of a healthcare worker. Y'all, we ain't doing right. We are not doing right. We're not doing the social distancing thing right. And we need to be intentional, y'all. Do not force our government to shut down this country completely.
Truth.com, okay.
Truth.com. I like that, Peggy. So y'all, let's man, y'all stop having the house parties and thing, man, and close the bar. Stop it. Stop.
You got the bar open, Mericha?
The bar was open last night. You wasn't watching Clint Stream, me. You don't watch Clint Stream.
Oh, I watch that. Oh Lord.
This young man was talking and he was saying how they got the bar open through the corner, but I ain't gonna tell you where.
You was supposed to this real man.
Oh my gosh. But the secret bar. Yep, it was a secret bar. That's what he called it. But I like that, Peggy. I think we can go with that. Truth.com. I love it. Truth.com. But yeah, y'all, let's do this for real. I sure y'all haven't been to the store enough now. What y'all going to the food store for? What do you need?
Girl,
y'all don't clean off the people's shop. What do you need?
Find things to go shopping for, girl. They just find a room.
I don't know what else y'all need, man. Y'all been in the food store lately? Man, goodness gracious, man.
Them shelves are empty.
Y'all working the little shelf boys hard, man. Anyways, listen, we love y'all. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm hoping that the government will not shut us down all the way, and hopefully Italia can be in studio with us next week. But this was an amazing show. Italia, I am always grateful for your wisdom. I don't say it to you enough. I thank you. I thank you for being who you are. You are such a beautiful person. I love you and I appreciate you.
Okay.
I do. I really do. And all of you beautiful people that have been tuning in today, the men and the women who've been tuning into the show, because we had a lot of people tune in. We love you. We appreciate you. We are so grateful that you took the moments out of your day just to listen to us talk. It's been an amazing conversation. So we love all of you from the bottom of our hearts. Y'all be safe. Know that we are praying for you, and we're not just saying that's not a cliche, but we're praying for real, for real, for real. So I would say keep it locked in. I love this. Candy say topic, just give me the light. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. I could be here talking fool all day. We got another show that's coming up at 12:30 in just a few seconds, so I gotta go. Keep it locked into the 93.9 FM, y'all. We gone.
Love you, Mericha.
Love you too.
All right. Later.
If I had $1 for every time they say God, what I'm gonna go do.